Hey, Shalom, Akim. This is Yahawah Tazak coming back with another video. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahawah. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity and truth. Yahawah Wahab Kakodash Barakatam Akim. I'm going to jump into a subject just talking about having the desire and the need to preach this gospel. All right, and it should be in you to want to do it. You know, it should be something inside of you, a burning passion to want to push his word, you know, and that's what basically the elders and you know, the heads of camps and leaders, or whatever you want to call anybody that's above you, is, or, you know, above anybody, is to motivate you, man. It's to get you running again, or get you running, you know, telling you not to give up. And how important it is, man. And it's part of that whole spectrum of your salvation. You know, it's not just believing, it's also preaching and many other things that you have to contribute into your the package of meeting the criteria of Yahweh's gift of salvation. All right, so I want to jump in. Just bear with me, Akim. This is Philippians 1:15. Some indeed preach Yahweh even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preach Yahweh of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. All right, so you got those guys out there that have this truth, and they ain't doing nothing with it, man. You know, you got guys out there that do go out to the streets and to preach, but they're preaching with contention, all right, with envy and strife, you know. But then you got the ones that are doing this thing sincerely and doing it of goodwill and of love, man, and to be a defense system for the gospel, man, and for the sheep, the Akim. You know, you got some guys out here that are just worried about themselves and trying to feed their own belly. You know, they come as sheep in sheep's clothing, but within they're ravening wolves, man. They don't give a shit. They're just here to eat. You know. So in verse 18 it says, "What then? Notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Yahweh is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice." You see, so you should be rejoicing that you have the ability to push this word, man, to preach and to be a defense for the gospel's sake, man, and for the elect, the Akim, the brotherhood, man. You know, that's what Yahweh was sent for to do, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That everybody preaches in these churches, and they praise the Lord, and they're jumping up and down in happiness and joy. How much more you, now that you got the true breakdowns, man? You got the hidden mystery. All right? And you got some guys out here that don't want to do nothing with that talent, man. They just got it hidden. They have it. They're sitting on it. You know? They ain't trying to flip it. They ain't trying to bring in the elect, man. To seal the elect. That's what this is about. This is about pushing this truth and preparing for a kingdom to be established, man. This ain't happening for no reason. This is to establish a kingdom. This ain't no trend that's just gonna die out. All right, there's gonna come severe punishment and destruction on the land, man, on this earth. The sound of the battle is out, man. You know, it's out in the earth. It's out in the world, man. So you best be rejoicing, man. You best be happy that you got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you got to be praying and hoping that you're part of the elect. You know, being a prisoner of hope, that you're doing it in sincerity and truth. It applies to everybody and to myself. But now that you have breath in your body, you're able to still understand. You ain't like Kanye West. You need to be pushing this word, man, and standing at the defense of the gospel, man. Just like Jehu, whenever he commanded the eunuchs to cast out Jezebel out of that window. He said, who's with me? That's what Yahawah is asking you. You know? And it says in verse 18, I'm going to read that again because this is a beautiful part. It says, what then? Notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Yahawah is preached. And therefore I therefore do rejoice. Yea, I will rejoice, man. Why? Because he has his knowledge, man. He has his truth. He's set up as a blazing wall, as a pillar of light, at the defense of the gospel, man, for the elect's sake. Paul and all the apostles, Yahawah being the head. And I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. Yeah, it's hell out here. Yeah, you're catching hell. Yeah, you're seeing these fucking 2/3 and these heathens get away with shit or whatever, but be spiritual, man. There's a lot of people out here that are dying, man. People are catching diseases. People are being killed on a daily basis, man, in diverse manners, man. You know? All these rich people, all these people that got big money, they're going to fucking fold. They're going to die, man. The economy's going to crash. You got to have faith and believe that these things are going to happen. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out. You're not going to continue, man. All right. Verse 19. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer. That's why we need brothers' prayers, man. We need to pray for each other. Because we're out here doing this work, man. If there's a whole spectrum of things that have to be accounted for into gaining salvation, man. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Yahawah HaMashiach, according to my earnest expectation and my hope, that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness and as always, so now also Yahawah shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. You see? So now that we're alive, we should be boldly confessing the name of Yahawah as often as we can. When the time arises and the Spirit of Yahawah is on you, that's your opportunity to supply the Spirit of Yahawah into the air, man, whether they hear or forbear. Because the Lord's word is never going to return unto him void, whether they want to accept it or not. If they don't accept it, guess what? It's going to break them and destroy them. Why? Because they despise the word. They cast it behind them, man. So either way, it's gonna prosper. So don't be ashamed of the gospel, man. Keep pushing and keep fighting. Don't quit. This applies to myself as well, man, because I know how hard it is to be in this truth. You know, I know the hurts and the pains and the groanings and all that that come with being in this truth, man. You know, if I was experiencing that before I came into the truth, you know, but I was going off and when I was in the world and I was out of the truth, but we're still suffering straight things. It tells you that in the book of 2nd Ezra, man. But that's not a reason to give up. That's not a reason not to do the work. That should piss you off and make you want to keep doing the work, man. You know? It says, verse 20, or so I'm going to start at verse 19 again. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Yahawah HaMashiach. You know, because we need to be supplied with the Spirit, man. We constantly need to be refueled with the Spirit and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. We got to constantly keep our lamps full with oil, man. All right, verse 20. According to my earnest expectation and my hope, that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness as always, so now also Yahawah shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. Verse 21. For to me to live is Yahawah, and to die is gain. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose, I would not. You know, so to live in Yahawah is basically, that's life, man. You know? And it says, but if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall not, yet what I shall choose, I would not. Verse 23, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Yahawah, which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. You see? Because Paul had a desire. He knew that he would be in a better a place. He would rest and be in the spirit realm with Yahawah, you know. But he knew that it was needful for him to be in the flesh. For who? For you. For the elect's sake, man. All right. Before I go any further, I'm going to pull out another scripture here. And I'll come back to that. 2 Timothy 2 and 10. It says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahawah HaMashiach with eternal glory. You see, so it was needful for him to remain in the flesh for you, for the elect's sake. All right, as it said right here, 2 Timothy 2 and 10, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. See, he endured all things, man. Talking about the hell that you're catching outside at your job with your woman, kids, payments, you know, subject to payments, paying bills, you know, whatever else life may bring you, being under the curses, he still kept pushing forward to that mark, man. He kept his eye focused on Yahawah, you know, on the kingdom. You read Hebrews 11, it talks about all that, having faith. You read the whole chapter 11 verse 1 all the way down to the last verse in that chapter. That's what it's talking about, man. You know, though our forefathers never achieved that kingdom, but yet their mind was persuaded that that's what it was, man. And we're back here again doing the same thing, and now this time it's going to happen for sure, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahawah HaMashiach with eternal glory. All right, so I'm gonna go back over here to Philippians 1 and start at verse 21 again. For to me to live is Yahawah, and to die is gain. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose, I would not. Salakia for that. That's a little tongue twister. Verse 23, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Yahawah, which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. Okay, so you have this truth. You're supposed to be out there feeding the flock, man. All right, like Paul said, Yahawah did the same thing. He knew that he had to fulfill his lot, and him preaching and also him presenting his body a living sacrifice, that was his lot. It was needful for you. That was part of his mission. That was Yahawah's lot. All right. Verse 25, and having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furthering and joy of faith. And that's what we should be doing, man. We should be building brothers up, you know, giving them that little bit of joy, because within this darkness, this is the only light that we have, man, which is the word, the spirit of Yahawah. All right, that's the only thing that we got. We ain't got nothing else, you know. Nothing is to be compared to what we have in our hands right now, man. You know, what we have in the spirit. You know, it says, and having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and joy of faith, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Yahawah HaMashiach for me by my coming to you again. You see, so it's needful, man, that we push forth this word, man. All right. I'm gonna go back. I'll come back to here. I'm gonna go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 5, and I'm gonna read down again. You know what I'm saying? Just bear with me, man, because there's so much in these scriptures, you know, that had to be brought out. All right, it's 2 Corinthians 4 and 5. For we preach not ourselves, but Yahawah HaMashiach, the Lord, and ourselves, your servants, and ourselves, your servants, for Yahawah HaMashiach's sake. You see? So we're servants for you, man. You got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, each brother is a servant to one another, man. And we preach not of ourselves, but of Yahawah Shai. Verse 6, for Yahawah, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahawah in the face of Yahawah Mashiach. It's right. So Yahawah has commanded the light to shine out of a dark place, which is Yahawah Shai and his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. And we're still doing it because Yahawah Shai is working through certain men to push forth this gospel, man, to be a defense of the gospel and to wake the elect up. Verse 7, but we have this treasure in earthly vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahawah, not of us. You see, because it all glory and honor goes to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But we have this treasure in earthly vessels in our bodies, man, within our mind frame, man, that the excellency of power may be of Yahawah and not of us. He's the one that's making certain brothers turn from their wicked ways. All right, it's his word that's doing it, not me, not Elder Tahar, not anybody. It's the spirit that's within us. This word, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is doing this great wonder, man, before the face of our enemies. Though it be told unto them, they shall not believe it. You know, roughly paraphrasing. But guess what? It's happening. Verse 8, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body the dying of Yahawah Shai Mashiach, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body. You know, and that's part of presenting your body a living sacrifice and following in the steps of Yahweh Shai. You know, carrying your own cross. For who? For not the scriptures say, seek out thy own salvation with fear and trembling, but also for the fold, man, for the sheep, for the Akim. Yahweh Shai told John, lovest thou me? And John said, thou knowest. And he said, feed my sheep. 3 times told him to feed the flock, feed the sheep. All right. So it says in verse 11, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahweh Shai's sake, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be manifest in our mortal flesh. You know, being delivered from death, man, or being resurrected from dying. You know, because Paul was stoned and he came back to life, basically. You know, so Yahweh Shai, the power of Yahweh Shai, was being shown in that manner, that he was enduring all things for the elect's sake, because he had a mission. Now those that fall out, that their mission was to fall out. You know, verse 12. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. You see, but life in you, because we're conveying the spirit of Yahweh Shai in you. You know, the scriptures say in Wisdom of Solomon 3:1, it says that the righteous are in the hand of the Lord, and no torment shall touch them. But in the sight of those, in the sight of the eyes of those, they take it their departure as to be as of misery and not in peace. Basically, in Wisdom of Solomon 3. But guess what? We are in peace, man. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. You know, we ain't dying. You know, the flesh is dying. We're being renewed into a new man from day to day. Why? Because Yahweh Shai is dealing with us, man. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. And that's what we're trying to distribute, is the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is he says that these spirits that I speak unto you, they are spirit and life. In John 6:63. Verse 13, we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We have believed, we also believe and therefore speak. You see, so going back to Philippians, you know, it says that you know, that how did it say it in Philippians? Let's see here, Salakia. It said chapter 1 verse 15. Some indeed preach Yahawah even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. Some the one preacheth Yahawah of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add afflictions to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. You see? So therefore we heard, now we believe. Right? Like I said, in verse 13, we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, and therefore speak. So if we're of the same spirit, we're going to all be doing the same thing, man. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahawah shall raise us up also by Yahawah, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the forgiving through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of Yahawah. All right, so that's our job, man. Our job is to push forth His word, man. All right, and not to give up. So from there, I'm gonna go to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, and I'm gonna start at verse 11, and I'm gonna read down, I guess, to 18. It says, if we have sown unto spiritual things, it is a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things. If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Yahawah Shahamashiach. Right? So, I mean, you have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you give up, you know, you go back into the world, and it's for what? For nothing. You know? But it's better to suffer all things, because you might very well be the elect, man. The elect are not going to fall out, period. You know? But we have sown unto those that are needful of salvation, spiritual things, man, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Yahawah. All right. Verse 13. Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. All right, being examples, you know, actually doing it, rehearsing the righteous acts, man. Being living proof, being Zion, a monument of that existence, of that existing power, which is Yahawah B'Shem Yahawah. Verse 15. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die, than that any man should make my glorying void. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me, yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. You see? You got to endure all things, man. It don't matter what we're going through, you know? Because the things that we're going through now ain't nothing compared to what is about to happen come soon, man. We're just practicing right now. We're being built up into a certain man that Yahawah needs us to be, building our faith. All right, for that dark hour, man. But woe is me if I preach not the gospel for the elect's sake, man. And not only that, you have this knowledge and you just cast it away. Verse 17, for if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily that, when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Yahawah without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. You see? So you gotta do this thing with sincerity and endurance, man. Having endurance, longevity, with a sincere and contrite spirit. All right, and push forward, man. You know. But woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. You know. Instead of thinking, oh, I wish I wasn't here and all this stuff, the woe is me spirit. You know. You got to keep pushing forward, man. Rejoice, be happy that you've been given this wisdom, man, this knowledge, man. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and bring another scripture here in the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." You see, so you're blessed to have heard these things, man. You know. That to live in the actual last days, man, to live to see the downfall of this devil, man, of the enemy, to be liberated from this darkness that encompasses the whole earth, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something to be happy about. That's why I said, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." And now you're able to reiterate it. You're able to go into the scriptures and distribute this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's something that's worthy of praise. All right. Well, Yahawah said that in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 19. I'll bring it out here in a minute, Salaki. Let me bring out this one here in Sirach. Let me line this one up here in Jeremiah. All right, Jeremiah 9:24. "But let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahawah." See, so Yahawah delights in the man that understandeth and knoweth his will, man. You know, and is able to distribute it, to show forth that light, to feed the flock. You know, like I'm going to read right here in the book of Sirach, chapter 24, verse 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and I will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages of forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. You see? So the ones that are going to be seeking wisdom are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. You Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. All right, no matter what you look like, if this truth resonates with you and you accept it, and it touches your heart, your mind, and it moves you in a way to where you're humbled in the sight of Yahawah, then you're more than likely an Israelite, man. And you have a feel of preaching, of pushing forth this word. But you got to count the cost too, man, because there's a price to pay for everything. All right, there comes certain precautions and things of that nature that you need to be reading that are able to happen. You know, you're gonna lose certain things. You know, it's like Paul. He said he counted all things but loss and as dung. You know, when you read in the book of Philippians, man. So whatever you do, man, just don't be like that man that received that talent and he hid it underneath the napkin, or he buried it. All right, and when the householder came, the keeper of that house, he came and saw, and it asked him for that talent, and said, was looking if he had flipped it, and he was rebuked and cast it out, man. You don't want to be that guy. You want to utilize this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you've been granted, man, and push it out, man. All right, and rejoice in that, man. Be happy, be thankful. You know, there's so much shit out here that's weighing us down. It's trying to destroy us, man. But guess what? This word can't be restrained. This word is gonna see you through the darkest times in your life, man. I ain't been through a lot of stuff like dark stuff, but I've been through times where the Lord's brought me out of things, man, where I felt like I was just gonna be destroyed in, man. You know, but that's all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahawah, man. You know, and what I'm ultimately looking for is to be delivered, man, to be saved. You know, And you should too, man. And the only way you're going to get that deliverance is by preaching the gospel, man. Make the videos, you know. Get out there into the highways and the byways. Do this work, man. Present your body a living sacrifice. All right? Holy and acceptable unto Yahawah B'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is your reasonable service, man. All right? So I'm going to leave it with that. I hope it was edifying. Salakia if I was just jumping around. But, you know, it's just something that, you know, I've been thinking about different topics to talk about, man. And that just dawned on me, man, that being thankful that you got this truth, man. You know, before I end it, I want to bring this one out because as I read in Philippians, talk about being, you know, basically to rejoice, basically being thankful, man, that you have this truth and you're able to distribute it, man. You know, this is 2 Corinthians 9 and 7. It says, every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give. You see, so whatever Yahweh has been giving you, man, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, give it back, man. You know, flip it. This is in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 8. Heal the sick. I'm gonna start at verse 6. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and as you go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely you have received, freely give. All right. Going back to 2 Corinthians 9 and 7. Every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly, nor of necessity, for Yahawah loveth a cheerful giver. So rejoice, man, and be happy to distribute this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding any chance you get, man. Be not ashamed of the gospel. All right. And verse 8 in 2 Corinthians 9 and 8, and Yahawah was able to make all grace abound toward you. You see, and that's why certain things happen to certain brothers. Deliverance is that the ultimate deliverance. That's gonna be that grace and that mercy that's gonna be upon the elect when they're delivered from these ICBM missiles, man, or from whatever death that may be trying to overshadow them in the coming martial law, in the implementation of the mark of the beast. Yahawah was able to make all grace abound towards you, man. Why? Because you were a cheerful giver. You were ready to distribute this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. You were ready to build up a brother. You know, that ye always have all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work, and abound into every good work, man. You see? And that's what we're looking for. We want to be rooted and grounded in Yahawah B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. We don't want to be those seeds that were planted, that were uprooted, they were just weak as fuck. They couldn't endure shit. You know, being planted there for all this time, and then when we're faced with martial law or the RFID chip or those missiles, it's uprooted at the last minute, man. We want to endure through it all, man. We want to go all the way to the end, like it says in Matthew 24. He that endureth to the end shall be saved. So if you're doing the work in sincerity and truth, you're preaching the gospel, making your videos, you listen to your elders, you're doing the things that are needful and not being told and over again. Hey, the Most High is going to make sure you'll abound in every good work, man. Verse 9, as it is written, he had dispersed abroad, he hath given to the poor, his righteousness remaineth forever. Now he that ministereth seed to the sower, both minister bread for your food, and multiplieth your seed sown, and increaseth the fruits of your righteousness. And that's what we're looking for, to be increased, man. You know. And we, like it said in verse 10, now he that ministereth seed to the sower, both minister bread for your food. You know, so we're feeding you the spiritual things that are needful for you, man, and multiply your seed sown, and increase the fruits of your righteousness, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness, which causeth through us thanksgiving to Yahawah. So we got to be thankful to Yahawah B'Shem Yahweh Shai for being enriched in everything to all bountifulness, man. He's the one that's endowed you with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Whatever else he's blessed you with, which causeth through us thanksgiving to Yahawah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it with that, man. You know, I hope it was edifying, man. You know, just whatever you do, man, fight through those temptations, through that state that you might be in, man, and keep pushing, man. Keep fighting. All right. And just keep your mind focused on Yahawah Shai and the brothers that are out there that need to be fed, man. Just like you need to be fed, there's brothers out there that need to be fed, man. Every brother's going to have to fight his own battle. Every brother's going to have to walk through the straight gate alone. But right now, we have each other to build each other up through these epistles, through these videos. By being an example on the highways and the byways that Yahawah Shai exists, man. Yeah, he's moving. So I hope it was edifying. Salakia, you know, if I was all over the place, you know, but there's just certain things that, like I said, the Spirit came into me, you know, on my mind. And I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahawah Shai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. All right, keep pushing this word, man. Don't give up. Whatever